car broke down, trapped me with my stepson in a one-bed motel. I'm Claire, Dallas gal, and those sparks burned my marriage's lies. This Reddit stories ain't guilt, it's family drama, unraveling truth in a drama family clash. Ever felt a forbidden pull tear your world apart? What's your reckless spark? Drop it below. Smash that like, subscribe for more Reddit fire. My heels clicked on the deep Elm kitchen tile. June 2024. Dallas morning thick with coffee steam, sweet tea mug burning my palms as I stared at Mark's last text. Stuck in Houston till July. My husband's 3-month absence, work trips, no calls, no spark, left me hollow, his neglect a blade in my gut. At 47, I still turned heads, but lonely nights gnawed my soul. I glanced at Ryan, my 22-year-old stepson, scarfing kolaches at the counter, his college-bound grin a flicker of life. "Ryan, drive me to your dad," I said, voice sharp. "Why am I chasing a man who forgot me?" Nora's, "He's checked out, Claire," buzzed in my phone, grounding me like a Texas oak. I tossed my purse on the counter, a jukebox from a nearby bar, thumping faint through the window, my heart racing like a Lake Ray Hubbard storm. Mark's distance wasn't new, dinners alone, texts ignored, but this trip to Houston was my last shot to spark something. Ryan looked up, that cheeky grin flashing. "All right, stepmom, but tell Dad I need a better ride for summer." His tease, half troublemaker, half charm, stirred a laugh, but my mind screamed, "Get this over with." "We'll talk cars later," I snapped, rushing him out, blind to the chaos waiting down the road. We hit the highway, Dallas sprawl fade into open fields, my phone scrolling Mark's old "I miss you" texts, now ghosts. Ryan hummed some country tune, tossing dumb jokes. Why'd the cow cross the road? Cracking himself up, his lean frame slouched in the driver's seat. 2 hours in, a hiss ripped through the car, engine sputtering dead. "What the hell?" I gasped, gripping the back seat. Ryan pulled over, muttering, "Think it's done, Claire." My pulse spiked, signal bars near zero, not a soul on this stretch of nowhere. We bickered 2 hours, calling mechanics, poking the engine, sweat sticking my dress to my skin. No fix, no tow till morning. "Closest motel's a mile up," Ryan said, checking his phone. My stomach sank, Mark's "lose it" temper flashing in my head, but a spark, reckless, alive, flickered deep. What's he gonna do? Ignore me more? We hiked to a dingy Lake Ray Hubbard motel, neon sign buzzing. Ryan charmed the desk guy, but my gut churned, trapped with my stepson, Mark's ghost looming. The clerk handed us one key. "Room 12, last one," he grunted. I trailed Ryan, heels scraping asphalt, Dallas heat clinging like guilt. The door creaked open, revealing a closet-sized room. One bed, dim bulb flickering, AC wheezing, a window facing a parking lot. "This it?" I muttered, dropping my purse, heart racing. Ryan laughed, flopping on the bed, arms behind his head. "What, expecting a deep Elm penthouse? Chill, stepmom, it's one night." His grin, boyish, trouble, hit me like a spark, my loneliness a match waiting to catch. Why's his laugh louder than Mark's ever was? I stood frozen, Nora's "you're more than his shadow" text raw. Ryan's ease, his stepmom tease, stirred something I couldn't name. Not yet. "This heat's killing me," I said, wiping my neck. "Gonna shower, or I'll pass out." Ryan waved, sprawling like he owned the place. "Your kingdom, Claire, do you?" His charm, that lean frame, flashed in my mind, but I shut the bathroom door, breath shaky. "He's Mark's son, Claire. Get a grip." In the mirror, steam rising. I saw me, 47, alive, desirable, not Mark's ghost. The shower's heat didn't wash away the mess brewing inside. Why'd I think Mark's worth this? I'd planned to surprise him, bridge our gap, but now I was stuck with Ryan, his grin louder than Mark's silence. Water stung my skin, my thoughts racing. Ryan's 22, college-bound, not a kid, and this tiny room, one bed, was closing in. Something was shifting, dangerous, electric, and I didn't know if I'd fight it or fall. Flashback to last fall. Oak Cliff porch, Mark's promise. "I'll be back, Claire. We'll fix us," he said, bag packed for Houston. I waited, his texts drying up, my bed cold. I thought love meant chasing his spark. I stepped out, dress clinging, Dallas oak swaying outside, Mark's neglect, Ryan's grin, this motel trap. They'd never see me, not really. I'd chased a ghost, but my fire wasn't out. Nora's "you're enough" was my spark. My heels ready to walk a road I couldn't unsee. They thought I'd stay Mark's shadow, but I'd show 'em what alive means when I burn my own path. Ever been stuck where tension sparked? Spill your trap below. My hands fumbled with my purse in the Lake Ray Hubbard motel room. June 2024. Dallas night heavy with humid heat. Sweet tea mug forgotten as I stared at the single bed. Heart racing like a deep Elm jukebox. The car breakdown stranded me with Ryan, my 22-year-old stepson, Mark's neglect, 3 months of silence from Houston, burning raw. Ryan's cheeky grin, his stepmom tease on the road, sparked something I couldn't name, dangerous and alive. Nora's "you're more than Mark's ghost, Claire," buzzed in my phone, grounding me like a Texas oak, but this tiny room was closing in. I stood frozen, a jukebox from a nearby diner thumping faint, the dim bulb flickering over one bed, AC sputtering like my resolve. "This it?" I muttered, dropping my purse, my dress clinging from the hike. Ryan flopped on the mattress, arms behind his head, laughing. "What, expecting a Dallas penthouse? Chill, Claire, one night." His grin, half trouble, half charm, hit like a match, my loneliness a fuse. Is this thrill mine or his? I wondered in a quiet reflection. Mark's "I'll be back" lies raw. "Heat's killing me," I said, wiping my neck. "Need a shower or I'm done." Ryan waved, sprawling like he owned the place. "Your kingdom, stepmom, do you?" His tone, that lean frame in a tee, stirred a heat I shoved down. He's Mark's son, Claire. I shut the bathroom door, steam rising as I stared in the mirror. 47, still alive, still wanted, not Mark's shadow. Why'd I think he's worth chasing? The shower stung, my thoughts racing. Ryan's not a kid, college-bound, and this bed, this room, was a trap I didn't hate. Something was shifting, and I wasn't sure I'd fight it. I stepped out in a flowy dress, cooler but restless, heading downstairs to the motel's diner to clear my head. Kolaches and a glass of wine barely dulled the buzz, Ryan's grin louder than Mark's silence. Back upstairs, the door creaked, and my breath caught. An explosive climax. Ryan, fresh from a shower, lay on the bed, robe half open, damp hair over his forehead, asleep with a faint smile. His toned frame, bare chest, sparked a warmth I couldn't shake, my pulse hammering. Carmen, he's Mark's son. But my eyes lingered, the robe slipping further, motel heat closing in. I froze. Nora's "you're enough," a distant echo, my heart screaming to move or run. One bed, no chair worth sleeping in. This room was a cage, and I wasn't clawing out. What's Mark gonna do, forget me more? I sat on the bed's edge, Ryan's breath steady, his boyish charm mixing with a man's fire. I lay down, inches away, staring at the ceiling, my dress rustling soft. Midnight. Ryan stirred, half asleep, hand raking his hair. I slit my eyes, pretending sleep, feeling his gaze burn through me, my pulse a wildfire. He shifted, robe loosening, muscles moving under skin, a spark I couldn't douse. His eyes locked on me, intense, probing. I sat up, voice low, shaken, but sure. "You're making me feel things, Ryan," I said, air thick. His grin faded, eyes deepening. "Claire, I've felt it too, living with you, Dad gone," he said, voice raw. "This ain't a dream, is it?" Why's his truth louder than Mark's lies? My breath caught, his words a match to my fuse. I leaned closer, dress slipping off my shoulder, his gaze following. "We talking the same thing?" I whispered, heart hammering. Ryan's silence screamed yes, his hand grazing my waist, electric. Our lips met, slow, exploring, then fierce. An explosion of pent-up fire. His kiss, youth, passion, melted my guard, my hands on his shoulders, the motel bed our stage. Mark's ghost, Nora's warnin'. All ash in that spark, my loneliness burned away. Flashback to last winter, oak cliff porch, Mark's vow. "We'll fix us, Claire," he said, Houston-bound, his texts drying up. I waited, his bed cold, thinking love meant holding his spark. I pulled back, breath ragged, Dallas oaks swaying outside. Ryan's eyes, Mark's absence, this forbidden fire, they'd never own me, but they'd change me. I'd chased a ghost, but my flame roared. Nora's "You're free" was my spark, my hands ready to face the ash of this night. They thought I'd stay Mark's shadow, but I'd show 'em what alive means when I burn bright. Ever let a forbidden spark burn? Share your blaze below. I stood by the Lake Ray Hubbard motel window. June 2024, Dallas dawn casting a pale glow over the parking lot. My sweet tea mug cold as I clutched my dress, heart heavy with the weight of last night's kiss. Ryan's lips, fierce, forbidden, burned in my memory, a reckless spark against Mark's 3-month absence, his neglect a dull ache at 47. The car was fixed, Ryan's voice calling from the lot, but guilt clawed my chest, Mark's Houston silence louder than ever. "Can I face him after this?" Nora's "You're worth more, Claire," echoed from her last call, grounding me like a Texas oak. An hour in, I called Nora, voice low. "We're heading to Mark," I said, Ryan's glance flickering. "Claire, you sound shaken," she said, her deep Elam drawl firm. "What happened?" I swallowed, motel heat flashing. "Car broke down. Things got complicated." Her pause was heavy. "Mark's been neglecting you for years, hun. Whatever happened, don't let him dim you. Confront him, or you'll lose yourself. Is my fire his or mine?" Her words stung, my guilt clashing with a spark I couldn't douse. "Thanks, Nora," I whispered, hanging up. Ryan's quiet hum, a tether. We stopped at a gas station, collages from a roadside stand steaming in my lap, but I couldn't eat. Ryan's "You okay?" was gentle, his hand brushing mine, electric. "We can't talk about it," I said, voice steady, 47 years weighing my words. He nodded, eyes forward, but the air crackled, our spark a secret we'd carry to Mark. How do I face a man I betrayed? I stared out, Dallas oaks lining the road, my marriage a house of cards waiting to fall. I smoothed my hair, the jukebox from a nearby diner thumping faintly, my reflection in the window worn, but alive. Last night's motel trap, one bed, Ryan's grin, our spark, had unraveled me, a woman who'd waited for Mark's love through empty nights. Ryan, 22, college-bound, wasn't a boy no more, his passion a mirror to my own buried fire. Why did I let it burn? I wondered in a quiet moment. Mark's "We'll fix us" vow a ghost. I grabbed my purse, dress creased, and stepped out, the morning air sharp with regret and thrill. Ryan leaned on the car, keys jingling, his grin softer now, eyes searching mine. "Ready, Claire? Dad's waiting," he said, voice low, no trace of last night's heat. My nod was tight, sliding into the passenger seat, Dallas fields blurring past as we drove toward Houston. The radio hummed, Ryan's silence louder than his road trip jokes, our kiss a shadow between us. I stared at my phone, Mark's last text, busy, call later, a knife. What's left to save? My fingers hovered over Nora's number, her "he's checked out" raw from yesterday. Mark's Houston apartment loomed in my mind, his cold texts a wall I'd crash against. Ryan's grin, his touch, had lit a fire Mark never could, but guilt gnawed. Mark was his father, my husband, my choice. Nora's "You're enough" buzzed, her kolache runs my anchor. I'd chased Mark's love, waded through his silence, but last night's spark was mine, not his. Can I own it without breaking us? The road stretched, Ryan's hum soft, my resolve hardening like Dallas stone. I'd face Mark, not for him, but for me. Flashback to last spring, oak cliff porch, Mark's promise. "I'll make time, Claire," he said, Houston bag packed, his calls drying up. I waited, our bed cold, thinking love meant holding his ghost. The car hummed, Houston near, Dallas Oaks fading in the mirror. Mark's neglect, Ryan's fire, my guilt. They'd never own me, but they'd shape me. I'd walked into a motel trap, sparked a forbidden flame, and now I'd face the ash. Nora's "You're free" was my anchor, my hands steady, ready to reckon with truth. They thought I'd stay Mark's shadow, but I'd show him what alive means when I face the fire. Ever wrestled guilt after a reckless move? Drop your fight below. I leaned against the doorframe of Mark's Houston apartment, July 2024. Dallas heat, a faint memory in the air-conditioned chill, my sweet tea mug untouched as Ryan's motel kiss burned in my chest, a reckless spark against Mark's 3-month neglect. At 47, I'd driven to reclaim my husband, but his cold texts and Ryan's fire, 22, bold, forbidden, had cracked my resolve. Nora's "You're more than his ghost, Claire," echoed from our last call, grounding me like a Texas oak, but facing Mark now felt like walking into a storm I'd sparked myself. The apartment reeked of stale coffee. Mark sprawled on the couch, phone in hand, barely glancing up. "Claire, didn't expect you," he grunted, eyes flicking to Ryan, then me. Is my marriage ash or salvage? I wondered in a quiet moment, the motel's single bed raw in my mind. Ryan's glance lingered, his grin gone, tension thick as deep elm neon. "We drove to see you," I said, voice measured, 47 years weighing my words. "Car broke down, stayed at a motel." Mark shrugged. "Sounds rough," his tone flat like I was a coworker, not his wife. I sat, hands steady, a jukebox from a nearby bar thumping faint through the window. "Mark, you've been gone months, no calls, no nothing," I said, fury rising like a Lake Ray Hubbard squall. "I'm here, ain't I?" he snapped, eyes on his phone. Ryan shifted, his "Dad, she's been waiting low," charged, his motel touch a ghost between us. Why'd I cling to a man who don't see me? Mark's laugh cut deep. "Waitin'? I'm working, Claire. You got Ryan, don't you?" My chest burned, his words a blade, Ryan's gaze a spark I couldn't meet. Nora's call flashed back, her "confront him or lose yourself," fierce. I stood, voice iron. "I'm done chasing you, Mark. You left me alone. Invisible." His eyes narrowed. "What's this, Claire? Drama?" Ryan's jaw tightened, his silence loud. I leaned in, 47 years of waiting boiling over. "I gave you years, Mark, and got scraps. I'm worth more." His scoff, "You're overreacting," was the last straw, an explosive climax. "I'm leaving," I said, cold, my bag packed in my mind, a subtle revenge for his neglect. Ryan's eyes followed heavy as I grabbed my purse. "Claire, wait," he said, voice low, motel fire flickering. Mark stood. "What's going on?" His suspicion sharp but blind. I didn't answer, boots steady, walking out, Ryan trailing. "You okay?" he asked in the hall, his hand grazing mine, electric. "No, but I will be," I said, 47 carrying my weight, not theirs. "Can I rebuild from ash?" Nora's "You're enough" grounded me. Her Kalashi runs my anchor. I'd face this, not for Mark, but me. Back in Dallas, Nora met me at a Deep Ellum diner, Kalashi's steamin'. "You told him?" she asked, eyes fierce. "Enough," I said. Mark's shrug raw, Ryan's gaze raw. "He don't deserve you," she said. "And Ryan? Careful, hun." Why's his spark louder than Mark's ever was? I sipped tea, Dallas Oaks swaying outside, my marriage a house of cards, toppled. Clara's "Mark still in Houston" text hit, his silence louder than his workin' excuse, Ryan's motel kiss a secret I'd carry. I crashed at Nora's, my Deep Ellum condo, a dream not yet real. Mark's texts, "Come back, we'll talk," piled up, ignored. Ryan's "You're strong, Claire" message stung, his fire a line I'd crossed, guilt and thrill clashing. I'd waited for Mark, chased his ghost, but the motel had woken me. What's love if it dims you? I wasn't his shadow no more, nor Ryan's spark. I was Claire, 47, alive, ready to burn my own path. Flashback to last winter, Oak Cliff porch, Mark's vow. "We'll fix us, Claire," he said, Houston bound, his calls dead. I waited, our bed cold, thinking love meant holding his ghost. I stood, tea coolin', Dallas neon glowing outside. Mark's neglect, Ryan's fire, my betrayal, they'd never own me, but they'd shape me. I'd walked from a loveless cage, my heart racing but free. Nora's "You're free" was my anchor, my hand steady, ready to face the wreckage. They thought I'd stay Mark's echo, but I'd show 'em what alive means when I rise from ash. Ever walked from a loveless trap? Tell your escape below. I sat at my new Deep Ellum condo's oak desk, January 2025. Dallas evening soft with kolache warmth, sweet tea steaming as I sketched designs for my boutique, heart steady like a Lake Ray Hubbard dawn. Mark's neglect, 3 months of silence, his Houston shrug, had shattered our marriage 6 months back, my motel kiss with Ryan, his 22-year-old son, a forbidden spark I'd buried. I'd walked from Mark's cage, my 47 years carrying me to a new life. Nora's "You're a damn fire, Claire" buzzed from our last diner meet, grounding me like a Texas oak. The condo's brick walls glowed, a jukebox from a nearby bar thumping faint, my boutique, Claire's Corner, opening next month with dresses I'd sewn myself. Mark's divorce papers hit my inbox yesterday, his sign and move on cold, a subtle revenge for his years of leaving me invisible. Is my fire mine or his? I wondered in a quiet moment. Ryan's motel touch raw, my resolve to rebuild a lone iron. Nora's "Mark's done, but Ryan's trouble" warned me. Her kolache runs my anchor, but a knock at my door jolted me. Ryan, eyes heavy, standing there. "Claire, needed to see you," he said, voice low, college backpack slung over his shoulder. My chest tightened, his grin from that Lake Ray Hubbard motel flashing. Dangerous. Alive. "Ryan, we can't," I said, 47 weighing my words, stepping back. He nodded, but his gaze lingered, electric. "Just checking on you," he said, sitting on my couch, tension crackling like a Deep Ellum storm. Why does his spark pull when I'm finally free? I poured tea, hands steady, Nora's "Stay your own" echoing. "I'm good," I said, building something new. My boutique's sketches piled up, my first client order, a Dallas wedding, set for delivery. Ryan's "You're killing it" was soft, his eyes searching, motel heat simmering. "Dad's a mess," he said. "Blames you." I laughed, raw. Mark's "overreacting from Houston, a ghost." "He left me first," I said, voice iron. "Signed his papers, done." Ryan's nod was tight, his hand brushing mine, a spark I shut down. "We crossed a line, Ryan," I said, 47 carrying my truth. "That night ain't us." He looked away, motel fire dimmed, but not dead. Nora swung by, kolaches steaming, her "Mark's crashing in Houston" gossip sharp. "Ryan's here," she whispered, eyes narrow. "Careful, Claire. He's young. You're you." Can I own my fire without his? I nodded, her "You're enough" my shield. My phone pinged. A client. "Your dresses are Dallas gold. My boutique, my condo, my life. Mine. Not Mark's shadow or Ryan's flame." Clara's "Mark's drinking heavy" text hit. His divorce papers my blade, his neglect his own cage now. Ryan stood, bag slung, his "I'll back off" shaky but real. "You're strong, Claire," he said, leaving, his gaze a spark I wouldn't chase. Mark's papers sat signed, my boutique's logo, a phoenix on my desk, a nod to my rebirth. Nora's "You're free" grounded me, my crew, her, Jess, Deep Ellum neighbors, my kin. A client's "You're our star" from last week's fitting lingered, their Kalashi tin on my counter, my chosen life louder than Mark's silence or Ryan's pull. I stood, tea coolin', Dallas neon glowing outside, Mark's neglect, Ryan's spark, my guilt. They'd shaped me, but I'd shaped this. My boutique, my fire were mine, no man's shadow. Nora's "You're a damn phoenix" was my anchor, my hands ready to build, not burn. They thought I'd stay Mark's ghost, but I'd show him what alive means when I rise from ash. Flashback to last summer, Oak Cliff porch, Mark's vow. "We'll fix us, Claire," he said. Houston bound, his calls dead. I waited, our bed cold, thinking love meant holding his ghost. I paced my condo, oak swaying outside, my sketches alive with purpose. Mark's papers, Ryan's visit, my motel sin. They'd never owned me, but they'd forged me. I'd walked from a loveless cage, built a life from thread and grit. My fire was mine, 47 and unapologetic. Ever rebuilt after a forbidden spark? Share your rise below. I gazed out my Deep Ellum Boutique's window, June 2025. Dallas evening alive with BBQ smoke, sweet tea steaming as Nora set Kalashis on Claire's corner's oak table. My heart full like a Lake Ray Hubbard sunrise. At 47, I'd rebuilt from Mark's 3-month neglect, his divorce papers signed a year ago, and that forbidden motel kiss with Ryan, his 22-year-old son, a spark I'd doused. My boutique glowed, my fire mine. Nora's "You're a damn phoenix, Claire" buzzed from our last potluck, grounding me like a Texas oak. The shop's brick walls hummed, a jukebox from a nearby bar thumpin' faint, my dresses, hand-stitched, Dallas loved, framin' my potluck crew, Nora, Jess, neighbors. Mark's neglect, Ryan's fire, my guilt. They'd forged me, but tonight was mine. What's my spark? His or me? I wondered in a quiet moment. My Phoenix logo gleamin', Mark's overreactin', a ghost. Nora's Mark's crashin', gossip hit. Houston bars, no job. Clara's he's a wreck, sharp. Ryan, back at college, had texted respect. His motel spark dimmed, my boundaries iron. Jess raised her glass, crowd hushin'. "To Claire, y'all, our star!" Cheers erupted, Nora's "damn right," loud. Her "Your oak, fierce." I smiled, mug warm. "To reckoned peace," I said, voice steady. "Kin who see your fire, not your ash." Nora's hug, Jess's nod, neighbors, "You're our rock," wrapped me like a quilt. Then, last week's Deep Ellum Gala flashed, an explosive climax. Mark, uninvited, stumbled in, reeking of whiskey, voice breaking. "Claire, I failed you," he slurred, crowd gaping. "I dimmed you, I'm sorry." Why's his plea too late? I stood tall, 47, carrying my truth. "You did," I said, cold, but I rose. His slump, my shine, was my subtle revenge. His regret, his cage. Nora leaned in, Kalashi's gone. "Mark's done, but Ryan?" she asked, eyes sharp. "Respecting me," I said, his "you're strong" text raw but distant. Can I carry my fire alone? My boutique's orders piled. Weddings, galas, my Phoenix logo Dallas gold. Clara's Mark's beggin' kin buzzed, his divorce papers my blade, his neglect his ruin. Ryan's college visit, his "I'm proud" nod stayed at arm's length, my motel sin a scar I'd healed. Nora's "You're enough" anchored me. My crew, Jess, neighbors, my kin, no Evans shade. A client's "Your dresses saved my day" echoed. My gala raisin' $50K for local artisans, Deep Ellum's talk. Susan, a neighbor, gifted a Kalachi tin, her "You're our Phoenix" lingerin'. Mark's plea, Ryan's spark, my rebuild. They'd shaped me, but I'd shaped this. What's love if it ain't free? I'd starved for Mark's nod, burned with Ryan's fire. But my boutique, my life, were mine, 47 and unbowed. Nora's "You burned their script" hit. My crew's cheers louder than Mark's slurs or Ryan's gaze. My phone pinged. A client. "Your gown's a dream, Claire." I grinned, my condo's oak desk holding my sketches, my fire alive. Mark's comeback texts, deleted. Ryan's respect, kept. My boundaries oak strong. Susan's "Your Dallas's heart" from her potluck warmed me. Her brisket tinned my anchor. I'd risen from Mark's ash, Ryan's spark, my guilt, building a family that saw me, not my shadow. Flashback to last spring, Oak Cliff porch, Mark's vow. "We'll fix us, Claire," he said, Houston bound, his silence my cage. I waited, our bed cold, thinking love meant holding his ghost. I stood, tea coolin', deep elm neon glowin', oak swaying like sentinels. Mark's ruin, Ryan's fire, my sin, they'd never own me, only forge me. I'd walked from a loveless cage, built a life from thread and grit. My fire was mine, 47 and fierce, no man's echo. Nora's "You're free" was my spark, my hand steady, ready to shine. Family ain't who binds you, it's who sets you free. What's your spark? Drop it below and subscribe to my channel for more Reddit stories that hit hard.